Now we're on KingTauro versus Chinese person. So we're probably going to see that. Is that the same person we just saw there? No, he's playing Chinese. Okay. So we're seeing the Chinese face off against KingTauro's Haudenosaunee now. Should be pretty interesting. Let's see how this one goes. Yeah. Because we saw how KingTauro's Haudenosaunee did against like an expert Chinese in Minimold. Let's see how he does against a weaker China. If his sort of double war hut tomahawk setup does anything, yeah. Basically. Should be fun. Absolutely. We'll figure this one out pretty quickly. So, yep. Going for the hunt there. Going for the trading post, right? Is he gonna... Oh, he's gonna build the mill train post, right? Or... I didn't even notice last time if KingTauro even went for a trading post there. That's what you're supposed to do as Haudenosaunee. You're supposed to go for a trading post. It's like a really important investment. From what I can tell, he doesn't go for an immediate one. Because typically when we see Haudenosaunee, they use their travois to become the longhouse. And then you use that wood to build a trading post. So your unit shipments go one after another. Yeah. But from what we can tell with the KingTauro deck, it's not a traditional Haudenosaunee deck. Because a normal Haudenosaunee deck has the Tomahawk shipment, 2 Aena Bowman, and then a Kanye West Horseman shipment in there. And he didn't have all that. He had all sorts of like sort of mid to late game stuff. So a little bit confused, you know what I mean? Using all his wood to make the longhouse, so he won't be getting a train post there. It definitely slows you down a bit as Hods when not getting that TP, and that's why you get it, you know? Yeah. So I think I understand how he sets up the double war hut. So he uses the travois from Age 1 to build the war hut. And then he gets the H2 travois, and then he just builds 2 war huts between the two for basically free. Well, here's the thing. If you were like a math nerd, right? It's actually really smart because you're saving like 500 wood doing that. So on paper, it sounds great. But what you're not understanding is the fact that you're not progressing your unit shipment arrival times quicker, and thus you're getting a little bit crippled there, you know? That's sort of what I'm saying pretty much. So, yeah, a little bit complicated, honestly. So now what we got here is we got the Chinese picking up a 85 wood treasure. That's pretty good. That should get them quite a bit. So he's got his trading post up right. He's got his village. So he doesn't have to worry about that. That's very good. So let's see what we got here. Very nice. So now, what we got? The chief. So he's going for the slow age up again. Okay. How about the China? So the China went with the Russians this time. So this is a very different China. This is more or less like the China I would use against KingTauro if I was in one of Chorizo's ligas. Because back in those days, I ran the Russian consulate Chinese because that was the original. That was like the OG one that Widgie used to talk about on his channel that I would always run. Basically, trading post, village, T-export into a Russian consulate, get the blockhouse, go Summer Palace. So, yep, that's sort of the Chinese that I was prescribed when I was playing ranked. So, we'll see if this China, you know, does as good as the Minimold one does. Because it seems like, from all the people out there, all the smart people in the Definitive Edition community, basically going the French consulate into Porcelain Tower seems to be the smart play that seems to outdo the old school Russian consulate method. And I think I agree. And I've tried running it, I think in both Definitive Edition as well as Wars of Liberty too, where it's not even as optimal. And I think, hey, this works pretty good, honestly. Well, wait a minute, no, I haven't run in Wars of Liberty. What am I talking about? That would be a bad idea because they don't have T-export, so it would actually be really suboptimal to do that. But I guess if you got like a ton of wood treasures, you could run it that way. But yeah, no, don't try that at home, kids, please. Don't try running that in Legacy. But definitely in Definitive Edition, whenever I tried going the French consulate route with China, it always seemed to go really good and feel really organic and stuff. So that's good. And that was on mods too. When I was trying to fight expert AIs, it just gave me a really good performance. So I can definitely swear by it, I would say. Yeah. But either way, going for a wall. Wow. It's not every day you see walls on Great Plains, folks. Very interesting choice. It can be a good choice if it slows down the enemy and makes their micro worse. Because here's the thing. Because of the wonderful unit pathing in Age of Empires 3, you could potentially put your enemy in a bind where half of their units on this side of the wall and the other half are here, and it just makes them more susceptible to range attacks when they're retreating. So I think that's pretty okay. Alright, and he is going to pick up Flamethrower with Castle Rickshaw. Kind of a good card, you know. It's a good one. It can actually be pretty good for defenses. Plus it gives you a Flamethrower, which is a very nice piece to add to your army. I think that's solid. Let's see what he gets next. So he's going to get his wood there. I think, honestly, Flamethrower does beat 4 Tomahawks, no problem. Oh, man, but his Rickshaw's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Where's his Flamethrower? Get that Flamethrower over there, man. What are you doing? Okay, he cancels that out right away and puts the castle right here. Very nice. He's going to need some more troops, though. He's going to need some more soldiers here. So he should try to get a village and get some sort of banner army out of here right now at this rate. Yeah. And honestly, you could actually go off of Russians right now and likely go to the Germans, I would say, at this stage if you're in the match. Ally with the Germans so you can cheapen your banner army's food so you don't die here. Yeah, that's what I would do, because now you got a fully fledged Haudenosaunee on you with hyenas and tomahawks, and you got to think fast. You got to think on your feet, because now you got no military except for a single flamethrower that he's not even using it. Is he stuck in there? Yeah, you got to get that flamethrower out of there, man, because you're going to run into some serious problems. He went with the Kijik playing army. What is up with that? I don't know. So Chukanu's there. Very nice. Very good. Four Kanye West Horseman and Archer, not bad. So I think Tauro definitely has the edge on this one. Now the China is picking up Mandarin Duck Squad, which gives you about 8 Chukunus and a flamethrower. If he does this carefully, he can actually knock Tauro out of his base and get a win here. Yeah, so we do need to watch this one rather carefully and see what actually ends up happening here. Yeah, no. We gotta pay attention to this one. This one could be very, very interesting, to say the least. Yeah, basically. So yeah, let's see what happens in this one. Oh, flamethrower. Put it right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Hey. Hey. What is he doing? What is he doing with the flamethrower? Why is he going over here for? What are you doing? What are you going over there for? Should be right over there, man. What is this? Why did he move it all the way out of the area where he had to keep it to actually fight the units? This makes, like, no sense to me at all. Now he's just going to lose it to these Tomahawks and Alec. Like, really? You should have just kept it with the other one and reinforced the area. And, like, took the stuff out quicker. Because now he just lost his whole army right there. Granted, the Hods are still pretty small in numbers, but still, it's not pristine. He's shipping in 6 Tomahawks right now. Okay, well, at this stage, I'm trying to figure out what he can do. Probably could ship in about 600 wood and, like, maintain his numbers, right? He's gonna get the wood so he can get more Tomahawks. That's what he would do at this stage. Probably go for spice trade next, and then maybe pick up the exotic hardwoods for the wood chopping, and then the team furrier for the food. Yeah, basically. Also picking up the wood tech there. I think that's a good time for that, because all the Taro can do now is just make archers, so he does need to make sure he mixes archers and tomahawks to be able to like push his opponent here though. Otherwise he'll fall apart to these step riders basically. Yeah, that's what I would say. Take out that wall, very nice. GG, well played. Very nice. Very well done. So that just shows you that the TheKingTauro Hashani is dangerous. It's just not good enough to beat Minimalt. Yeah, basically.